All right, this is Module 4, Lesson 9, Homework Help, 5th grade. There's the homework that I have given, and here's some work. I'm going to go ahead and start with number 2 and then come back to number 1. Okay, so it's asking you for 2/3 of a foot in inches. So we want to know what 2/3 of a foot is. So that's the basic thing that we want to know, but we want to know it in inches. Okay, so we're going to look for the inches in this example. Now, what do we need to know ahead of time between inches and feet? We need to know that 1 foot, let me move it down to the side, is equal to 12 inches. Now, if you know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, is our answer going to be greater than or less than for 2/3 of a foot? If you said less than, then you're correct. So we know our answer is going to be less than 12. Okay? Because 2/3 is less than the whole. So we're going to show it first. I'm going to show it as a tape diagram. So this is 1 foot, which is equal to 12 inches. Okay. And we need to cut it into thirds. How do I know thirds? Well, right here, this is my thirds. And we're looking for how much 2/3 of that would be. Some of you can already do this in your head, but let's go ahead and show you the steps because you need to know this for the future as well. So we're saying 2/3 of 1 foot. So far nothing has changed. Then we're going to replace that foot and we're going to multiply it times 12 inches. So this is something that we've been working on. Now, what I like to do is put the 2 times 12 on top. Remember, we're not multiplying the denominator. Okay, now I know that 3 goes into 12 4 times. So now I have 8 ones. How did I get the 8? Well, 2 times 4 equals 8. Okay, so my answer is 8 inches. All right, so we need to know the basics of all of these. We know that 2/5 of a meter, how many centimeters are in a meter? Well, we know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Okay, so we are going to put 1 meter, 2/5 of a meter, so that's going to be less than 100, and I know that 2/5 is less than half, so I know my answer is going to be less than 50, because half of 100 is 50. So let's see. 2/5 of a meter is equal to 2/5 times 1 meter, which is equal to 2/5 times 100 centimeters, which is equal to 2/5 times 100, 2 times 100 over 5. Okay, now I know that 5 goes into 100 20 times. So my 5 turns into a 1, and my 100 turns into 20. Okay, and if you don't understand that, it's basically we're going to do something to the effect of 2. We're going to leave it outside, and we're going to put the 100 over the 5. So we're multiplying this. Okay, and if you do 100 divided by 5, you get 20. So now we need to multiply that by 2, so our answer is 40 centimeters. Remember I said it's going to be less than 50? Well, 40 is less than 50. Okay, 2/5 is less than a half, so half of 100 is 50. So my answer has to be less than 50, and it is 40 centimeters. All right, so now we have years to months. I have 5/6 of a year, and we have to know how many months are in a year. Hopefully you know it's 12 months. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 5/6 of a year is equal to 5/6 times 1 year, which is equal to 5/6 times 12 months, which is equal to 5 times 12 over 6. All right, and now I know 6 goes into 12 2 times. It goes into 6. 6 goes into 6 1 time. So my answer is 10 over 1, which is equal 10 months. All right, 5/6 of a year, it's close to a whole year. 6/6 of a year would be the whole year. So a whole year has 12 months, so our answer should be closer to 12, and it is. All right, let's go back up to here. We have 36 minutes, and we want to know how much of an hour. So this one actually is going backwards, and we're going to see a fraction happening. So we know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier. Okay, so we start off with 36 minutes is equal to, let's see what happens, 36 times 1 hour. Okay, here's where we have to be very careful. Now, if we do this way, you're thinking, okay, let's put the 60 in there. Nope, I did this wrong. 60 minutes. Okay, 36 minutes equals to 1 minute. And 1 minute is what we have to understand is equal to 1/60th of a minute. What, Mr. Valdemar? I don't get that. Of an hour, sorry. Well, when we look over here on this side, we should have written it 1 hour is equal to 1/60th of a minute. Because there's 60 minutes in an hour, a minute is only 1 out of 60. So there's where we're getting our fraction. Okay, so now we have 36 over, or times 1, just to make sure you understand where I'm getting it, over 60. Oh, wow. This looks difficult, huh? Well, not really. If you think about the number 6, 6 goes into 60 10 times, and 6 goes into 36 6 times. So my answer would be 6/10 of a minute. So we do have a fraction here. We can also make it 3/5 of a minute. I like 6/10 of a minute, of an hour, excuse me, because a tenth, that means you can kind of get 6 times 10. 6 times 6 is 36. So you see the 36 in there. Okay? For every 10 minutes, we're going to use 6 minutes. So if we do that 6 times, we're going to get that to our 36. All right. What I said was correct. It didn't show up right, so I'm not going to leave it there. But just remember that this one, we actually had to get the fraction from here. If you say 3/5 of an hour, you would also be correct. For every 5 minutes, there would be 3 hours. All right, let's get to some more work over here. Okay, we have another meters to centimeters. So we already know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So we're going to go 3/5 of a meter is equal to 3/5 times 1 meter. And 3/5 now is going to be times 100 centimeters, which is going to be 3 times 100 over 5. We've seen this already. We know the answer is 20 here. And 1 here. And we get our answer of 60 centimeters. This time because we're doing 3 times 20. Or last time I think we did 2 times 20. All right, so 3/5 is more than half, and half of 100 is 50, so we're going to be higher than 50, and we did get 60. All right, next we have 5/12 of an hour. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So this is almost the backwards of the other one. All right, so 5/12 is equal of an hour, is equal to 5/12 times 1 hour, which is equal to 5/12 times 60 minutes, which we can do 5 times 60 over 12. Now here's something that you need to know. 12 can go into 65 times. Okay, half of an hour is 30 minutes. 5/12 is close to half of an hour, but less. And if we do 5 times 5, you get 25 ones, which is 25 minutes. All right. So the word of the day, or bonus word, is clock. Clock.